A league record 6 All-NBA players from the previous season changed teams, so in the new NBA you're about to see a ranking of the 10 best big threes entering this season, and my predictions for which one will dominate the most. First, your Speak shoutout goes to Swensation, giving the Cavaliers the best moment of the decade because they ended Cleveland's sports depression and came back from the first 3-1 lead in finals history. Best answer for the question coming up gets next vid shoutout. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Long time coming, but I'm finally active on those platforms. But let's get into the ranking. 2019-20's 10th best trio revolves around the lethal young tandem of DONCIC and PORZINGIS. WRIGHT was acquired in a sign-and-trade and paid $29 million, and 2019's Rookie of the Year DONCIC just said DeLon is going to make things a lot easier for him. There's no doubt Wright's underrated, and this new situation could make him a late bloomer into star caliber. He is only 27, entering his 5th season. Meanwhile, by October, it's going to be 20 months since Kristaps Porzingis last played in the NBA. His pick-and-pop sets with DONCIC should be unstoppable. The health of Porzingis scares me a bit. If at full strength, Dallas should win a lot more games this season, though. All repping USA and ranked the number 9 big three on this list, Tatum, Walker, and Brown make the Celtics an East contender next season. Kemba Walker's ego is significantly less of a factor than Kyrie's, meaning every Celtic's gonna play a lot more loose. Some say Tatum's overrated, but they forget it was only the 2nd season of his career. It's gonna take time for both him and Brown, who's still 22 himself, to develop. For the time being, athletically, and being that they're both over 6'7", they're a mismatch at their position. It'd be great for Boston fans specifically to see USA win gold, as that type of experience for their 3 top options could go a long way into 2020. Essential to the Bucks' success is obviously Giannis. However, without the sharpshooting Chris Middleton and the elusive, explosive Eric Bledsoe, the Bucks are far from probably the current favorite in the Eastern Conference. This was a team that was just up 2-0 in the East Finals, on the verge of going back to the Finals for the first time since 1974. That had a lot to do with Giannis, who was beastly all playoffs against a tough Toronto defense. That changed, but the play of his supporting cast in Middleton and Bledsoe was particularly bad. So even though ANTETOKOUNMPO is a top player in the NBA, it's the 2 other players around him that complete this trio that are the reason it doesn't rank higher. Now for a big 3 that features 2 MVPs and a scorer in Eric Gordon, who just averaged 20 points per game in Houston's 2nd round series loss to Golden State. You'd hope that Westbrook finally realizes it's time for him to take on the role of a second option. He averaged far more shots than Paul George in the playoffs last year. Harden might explode if Russ does that to him. Durant and Paul George have moved on from Westbrook, so I think Russell finally turns his ways around and takes a back seat to Harden. That's why this will be a thrilling year for Rockets fans. Houston needed to shake things up, and getting Russ was a great move, along with committing to a consistent scorer in Eric Gordon by re-signing him. One of the questions of the offseason for basketball fans in general, not just Philadelphia fans, is, has Ben Simmons finally improved his jump shot, or are the clips where he's hitting these ridiculous shots just due to a lack of pressure and competition? Regardless, Ben's 6'10 frame with his scoring around the basket to go with a prime low-post god in Joel Embiid, and a combo forward in the smooth Tobias Harris, you're seeing the most well-rounded trio thus far. Luckily this year their biggest task is Giannis and not Kawhi, although that's no cakewalk. So their former number 1 pick in 2016 and a relied-upon option in Ben Simmons must improve his overall game. Donovan Mitchell's backcourt partner vamps from Ricky Rubio to an all-defensive team guard and maybe the most underrated NBA player in Mike Conley. Mike's shooting consistency, specifically from deep, is a significant improvement from Rubio, so Donovan is going to have a lot more space to go to work. Rudy Gobert was just 3rd in blocks per game last year, and his 7'9" wingspan and lateral quickness make him one of the best rim protectors in the entire NBA. And last season, he showed off an improved low post game, so on both ends, Utah's got an impressive big 3. The 3rd-ranked 2019-20 Big 3 revolves around the greatest passing big man of all time, Nikola Jokic. He put up 27 points, nearly 8 assists, and 14 rebounds on 53% shooting in the Nuggets' 7-game series loss to Portland. Certainly, he wasn't the cause of the Nuggets' downfall, Denver's second-round exit was just a big-time learning experience for their young squad, but Jamal Murray helped Jokic out by putting up over 23 a night in the conference semis, including back-to-back games of 34 points. Millsap was very solid as well, averaging 17 and 9. He's Jokic and Murray's most reliable complementary scoring option. Yes, he's 34, but in the playoffs, it's great to have his experience, and he still has a lot left in the tank. Klay Thompson's ACL tear will reportedly keep him out until March of 2020, which is when he's targeting his return. While he's recovering, D-Loading steps in as the second splash brother, and D'Angelo's shot creating with all the advanced offensive actions and screenplays that Golden State runs should work perfectly. He can even be a spot-up shooter from distance at times, so I think Russell is a great fit. With Durant leaving and Thompson out, Steph Curry is going to have a career year. Draymond Green is still an elite forward, and his presence has a valuable impact for the Dubs. He didn't get along with Durant, so he should be better without him. So despite a recent finals loss and losing KD, the Warriors are still in a solid position. We know LeBron and AD will be their usual superstar selves and have an insane pick and roll. Bron hasn't shown any signs of slowing down, the only thing potentially throwing him off track being Taco Tuesday. The only question is, will Anthony Davis get the help he needs up front? We'll see what Dwight Howard can provide, but the rising third-year stretch for Kyle Kuzma is going to have the biggest test of his young career. Like Jason Tatum, his numbers are extremely solid for a second-year player, and based off the fact that the 23-year-old Kyle Kuzma improved his field goal percentage as well as points and assists last season, you should believe he'll be an extremely solid third option for the expected title-contending Lakers. And at number 1, you know the two superstar small forwards joining the Clippers, but before they join the squad, Lou Williams had the duties of being the number 1 scoring option. He's a 3-time Sixth Man of the Year award winner, and it's time that he gets the recognition as the lethal scoring weapon that he is. In crunch time, Rivers will most likely put Lou Will at point guard, and then with Leonard and George on the floor, Williams will be defense's third priority, which is something he's never experienced in his career. Of course, this trio is number 1 because of Kawhi Leonard, both for his talents and bringing another top player at his position to the team. The combination of lockdown perimeter defense and elite scoring PG and Kawhi bring to the table will be an incredible sight to see. For NBA stories, predictions, and lists all year long, hit subscribe. Shoutout question is, who's your most dominant 2020 duo? Or who did I leave off this list? This was your boy Dflow. Have a great one. I'll see you next video.